This world has been connected. And now darkness within darkness awaits you.
In the end, every heart returns to the darkness whence it came.
My name is Ansem. I reach for the darkness. One who knows nothing can understand.
Tidings, everybody. Welcome to the Ansem Report podcast. This is season 2, episode 11 of the longest running Kingdom Hearts podcast that you've ever heard of, even, or known, or seen, or watched, or listened to. I'm Mike, and with me as always is my brother Jason. Hello, Jason.
Yo, yo, yo. What's going on?
And Jason, we have a very special guest with us today. I don't know if you've noticed.
What?
Very special guest with us in studio. We're all in the same room right now. Well, not really.
Yeah,
That's not
they
true.
flew me out.
We flew Bio-Roxas out. Ladies and gentlemen,
Hello.
the master of
Happy to be
breakdowns,
here.
Bio-Roxas, is here.
I still see you guys haven't got rid of the chains that you were tying Nomura down with.
Yep. You don't have to put those on.
They're
though.
novelty at
That's
this
just
point.
That's just an Omura thing. Actually, he'll be angry if he finds out you wear the chains.
Yeah, I prefer my own chains, if anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. We don't want to piss him off. But Bio, how you doing, man?
I'm
Welcome.
doing well.
Been a
Thanks
while.
for having me on. It's not like I was pestering you guys.
No,
like every week I was like,
He put a gun to my head.
He
He said, Jason, I got dirt on you, okay? You gotta get me on the podcast in the next 3 weeks or else.
Well, I always feel bad because I feel like people think they're pestering us, but it's just like I just want to make sure that we have the right, the right mood set to have a guest on. You know what I mean? It's never about, and it's always about our stupid schedules and not anybody else's. But I appreciate you pestering us because then that gets us to act and get you on. So
Yeah.
Thank you, Bio. You're a legend.
Oh, thank you. I'm actually coming back and making Kingdom Hearts content too, so
Yeah,
I've
you've been
seen-
popping off.
yeah.
I don't want to like put a number on this, but I would say like 70% of your videos have been Kingdom Hearts.
Right? Yeah. I just put out a 14 video last week.
72.5. You are still putting out the 14 stuff, which you told me off air you don't want to talk about 14.
Yep.
However, I think Jason wants to talk to you about 14 for like 5 minutes.
Okay.
So I'm going to give
Go ahead.
Jason
I mean, I
less
talked
than 5
to
minutes.
Bio about it on his stream yesterday, so I kind of got it out of my system, but I just think the FF14 post-patch shit, it just needs to be changed for new players. It's like been a roadblock for both expansion I played. It's just like
Really? Even Heaven's Word?
it's just it wasn't as bad with Heaven's Word. It was like it just slightly felt worse, right? Like going through and Heaven's Word was really, really good. And then the post-patch stuff definitely feels like filler, because it is for the most part, right? But like very, very much feels like filler, and so it feels bad. And because you're not the point of the post-patch, the reward is just the story. There is no like in-game, like sometimes you'll get like a freaking emote or something, but you're not getting XP or gil or whatever. And you're just essentially running from cutscene to cutscene. Occasionally you'll have like a story fight. And
I guess,
you'll have
you
a
don't
dungeon.
get XPD.
Yeah, you don't get anything really. Like comparatively, like I've done the entirety of the post-patch and leveled up once, I think. But I also was doing other stuff, so I don't even know if that was due to other stuff, because I was getting bored. But anyway, I think that they need to change how it works, because essentially you're just running from cutscene to cutscene for like at least 15 hours or something, right? Like, it's really, really long. And if you care about the story in any way, which I do, it just makes it really infuriating. And then also with Stormblood specifically, they start rehashing shit that happened in Stormblood. Like, without spoilers, there's just like the typical trope that it's like, you have to get the indigenous people on your side to fight the Empire. Like, it's the most trope thing of all time, right? But they got these real like quirky traditions, and you gotta go through their means to get them on your side, or they won't really trust you. So then they essentially just fuck you around for like hours and hours on end with side quests, which from an MMO standpoint makes sense, but it's still annoying story wise. And then you beat the Empire with them. Like, wow, this is awesome. Wow. Like, I feel like that's not a spoiler. Like, obviously, you're going to fucking win, right? But then they rehash it in the post-patch, bro. They just start fucking you around again when you need them again. They're like, oh, are we on the same team here? So it's trash, bro.
Patches for Stormblood. Can we talk about spoilers?
I mean, I don't care. I only didn't want to talk about spoilers because, like, I know people will follow you.
Okay, cool. So the end of 4.0, is that with Shinryu? You're on 4.4.
No. I'm on,
you didn't like 4.3?
I agree. The early patches were good.
Yeah.
But
so 4.4 and 4.5 lead up into the end of... Okay, so 4.4 and 4.5 are like pre-Shadowbringers, like setting up a lot of things for Shadowbringers.
It was like the same thing for Heavensward,
Yeah, you're at the burn, right?
Yeah. I remember, like, once I got into 4.4, I was like, okay, this is getting a bit much, dude. And then the burn was awful because of, like, people who are max level and have, like, multiple max level jobs wiping in a story mode the burn boss. I absolutely mauled it for, like, an hour
it's on Final Fantasy IV. It's based off of that. Because like in that game you couldn't attack the enemy without it counterattacking. So like when the mist comes out, you're not supposed to attack. And so to be like a little like nod to that, but yeah, no, it's really.
Well, it doesn't even matter if you do attack it. Just don't stand in the freaking giant orange circle, bro. Like, it's that simple. You can still just brute force it. But yeah, anyway, I feel like certain things could happen to alleviate it, because, and especially what also really sucks is when, like, okay, you just did all this story stuff, you've been running back and forth, and then one of the things they tell you is like, hey, you got to go talk to this person, but they're not anywhere near like an Ethernet thing. Like, you literally have to run again for like 5 minutes. It's like, holy shit, dude, this is ridiculous. Like, I've played a bunch of MMOs, and what certain MMOs will do to alleviate this, especially when it's older content, is just ask, hey, do you want to warp straight to this person, dude? Like, they need to at least add that, because it's so awful, dude. Like, I've been doing post-patch Stormblood for like literally months. Months.
Been a while.
I'm playing it at the same pace that it came out.
Yeah, right. Data Center Travel comes out now, so next week I can do that dungeon with you if you want.
Oh yeah, the upcoming one, yeah. The 4.5. Anyways, I just think it could be better.
That was FF14 time. I hope you guys enjoyed that. My waveform just dies. Like, it's just silence. So, yeah.
Do you like high-end raids? Like, do you like...
Oh, God.
I mean, in other MMOs, I obviously haven't.
No, I was asking you, Mike.
No, Mike doesn't play MMOs.
I feel like people that don't enjoy the story will probably enjoy the rating.
So,
and vice versa.
Here's what happened with my Final Fantasy 14 experience is I played for quite a bit. I got almost to the end of the like normal content, Realm Reborn, you know. And then I just started playing Triple Triad, and then I uninstalled.
Gotcha.
Because it's not my kind of thing, you know, and that's okay.
Yeah,
that's all right.
Yeah.
It's okay that you're hopelessly addicted to it, and I don't like it. That's okay. That's normal.
Yeah, it's a problem.
That's it runs the spectrum. You know what I mean?
I would say. If people don't like MMOs and they're turned by FF14, check out the soundtrack at least. This shit's actually goated.
Yeah, the soundtrack is really
especially
good.
if you like other Final Fantasies, Kingdom Hearts, obviously. like, bro, the soundtracks are actually really good.
Yeah, and that's my thing is, if I were to play it, like if I had time, I would do it for like those cool callbacks and like the you know, because they reference pretty much every Final Fantasy in it.
Yeah.
The music, the stuff like that. That's what I would play it for, but I don't have time to do that effectively. So that's why I'm kind of like, it's okay. I'll let other people enjoy it.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you. It's a huge time sink.
It is. I'd rather just replay Kingdom Hearts 3 over and over, apparently. So that's what I do with my time.
Well, yeah, the new randomizer came out. You guys have been playing that a little bit.
What, is it out yet?
I don't think it's officially out. Like the build we've been playing.
The build we've been playing isn't out yet. Thanks to WaterKH and Critic Perfect for letting us test the build. Yeah, we've been playing that. It's cool. The boss randomizer and the enemy randomizer is sick, and it's been really funny because we're playing it when there's still like a lot of bugs, and so like stupid shit will happen. Like I show up in the final world at the beginning of the game, and the dark side got randomized with Davy Jones, and then the cutscene, he's just standing behind me staring at me, and then he just vanishes into the water and doesn't return because he teleported back to his ship in the Caribbean. So and then we get soft locked.
Yeah, there's been a lot of hilarious moments, and part of why it's been delayed is I know Critic had some like personal stuff pop up, and so it just kind of slowed down the development. But I'm really excited. I'm gonna be. I don't have KH3 on my PC yet. I only ever had gotten it on the PlayStation, but yeah, I'm planning on buying it so that I can do some races with Mike because it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah,
it's been
even
cool.
and like that's what I loved about the KH2 randomizer, and like why, in my opinion, why it got so popular was it was so crazy, and like just. From my experience, like it was very broken, and so like but it was like a fun broken, right? Like
yeah.
And so like it was just crazy to see what insanity would happen next.
So we played yesterday, and there's that in Remind DLC. You go to Scarlet Kayam, and there's that pink shadow
that has the Kyrie piece.
That has the Kyrie piece that you're supposed to kill, and he has like 10 health bars or something. What we didn't know is that he spawns all the nobodies that are there that you fight.
It's his retaliation. Right? It's like part of his retaliation if he takes a certain amount of damage. You get him to a certain
health gate, and he spawns more nobodies.
Yeah.
So what happened is Water and Critic had him in the regular enemy rando pool, and so they got replaced. They replaced flame cores in Olympus.
Oh, okay. I thought I saw that.
Yeah.
I was
there's
hanging out for
10
a
of
little
these
bit.
guys, and every time I hit them, they spawn 10 nobodies.
Like
so
10
it was
sets
just
of nobodies.
Yeah.
So
it was
like
just
there will be like
insane,
40 on screen.
It was like
it didn't break?
It didn't crash.
Slowing.
Really?
It was slowing.
It was slowing,
very hard.
okay.
And then Mickey was in my party because we had the random party members on, and you just hear we have Japanese voices on. And you just his Japanese like as he's getting just
over and
destroyed.
My face hurt so bad from just laughing. It was just so
we were
fun.
having a good time with it.
I love that just the insanity and just so much stuff can happen. It's just so much fun.
Right. And I still think the Kingdom Hearts 2 randomizer is fun, but I do agree that there's a certain aspect of it when they fix it and when they start making it more stable and then adding these quality of life stuff, it makes it a little less fun in that regard. Like,
I got so tired. Like I might do another KH2 randomizer in the future, but like I think I did it like 3 or 4 times. I don't know how people can just do it
Did
over
you ever
and over
do
again.
like races or like bingo?
No.
Bingo was
I
really
think I
fun.
did bingo.
Bio. Bingo's fun. Bingo's fun. We should do bingo sometime. It's a good time. But no, like I get it because there are people that literally every day they stream, they just do KH2 rando. And I don't understand.
I think one thing that I realized that I do that like KH2 just has that just makes a rando more accessible over 3 is like the movement, right? Like there is 4 different versions of glide because there's the different level ups or whatever.
And the worlds are so much more streamlined.
That too.
I think that's
it's
the
way,
biggest.
You could
biggest
just
thing
speed
is
run
like
the hell out of it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like with KH3, when I think about a randomizer, it's so open, and so like it feels. Yeah, it just feels different than like a KH2 randomizer.
It does.
Yeah, it's
and
more daunting.
Like, you go to like San Francisco, and if you don't have movement, you're fucked. Like you just gotta go climb every building one by one to get around and try to get the chests.
Yeah.
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 Well, we found this thing where we went to Olympus, and because of the pink heartless, we left because we weren't strong enough to deal with that. But it took our air step because you don't technically have it yet.
No.
So we were trying to beat other worlds without air step. And so like things were like shining at us, and I tried to air step and it wouldn't work, and we didn't figure out what was going on until like halfway through. But I was like, oh, it's because we didn't get to that part of Olympus.
Mm-hmm.
So we couldn't. So I was just we were doing the flash tracer, and I had to like
You could do it like vanilla, but
hit,
like
air slide
worse.
hit to
Yeah.
get from building to building, and it was a nightmare.
It was so funny because Mike knows all these speedrun techs, and you can't do a single one. It was like just like the worst torture you could ever, because it's like there's so many different things in that game where like there's like movement speedrun tech that is just so, it just feels good to do, right? Like like when you're air sliding up the mountain in Arendelle, like it just feels good. And the fact that you like can't do it, especially with Mike who's like done it a million times, I was just laughing so hard.
Yeah,
just like
it was pretty soul crushing. Yeah, but Bio, I know you wanted to come on and talk a little bit about KH4.
Yeah,
That's the new hotness. You know, that's the new.
I'm really excited
what's going
for
down. I'm very excited for it as well. Do you want to? I mean, I know you gave your thoughts on your channel, but do you want to tell people how you're feeling about it?
Yeah, I'm really excited for it. This was always a video I wanted to make, and just never did. And so like seeing it kind of coming to fruition, because like right in Kingdom Hearts 3, your form changes were locked to a Keyblade, right? And so like only let's say only the frozen Keyblades could give you Blizzard Blades or the Ice Claws, right? And so like it was weird to see him form changing, but then it was so restrictive. And so like I feel like with the form change like copies, it was kind of that idea of like, okay, he can still make these same things in other Keyblades and still use the Keyblade to form claws, because he does that a couple times, or form a hammer. And then with Kingdom Hearts 4,
you just stylize it different.
Yeah, right. It's just like I'm using this Keyblade and I'm picking apart the pieces to create claws, but it looks different because it's a different Keyblade. With Kingdom Hearts 4, we see like we only see the chain so far, but it's like, okay, he's manipulating his Keyblade to use this hookshot-esque ability, and I don't think he uses his Keyblade with the drill. But like just seeing him hopefully like become more adept at form changing and being able to create different styles out of that is going to be exciting.
Well, and the fact that it's in the menu too is cool. Like it's not like a you have to build this up first or whatever, right? Or that's what it seems like, right?
Yeah, there's a bunch of different theories. Someone made the comment like, because I think it'd be cool to have jobs, right? And like I don't know if you guys saw the video, but like like have like Sword creating a lance, right? And then shifting into like a form change, like a dragoon job with like a lot of jumping and a lot of like stabbing, and then shifting to like a sword and shield and like having a more paladin moveset. Like I think that'd be so cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. It's kind of like similar to like how it is in KH3, right? Where it's like you have your different, like it's like the different like colored forms or whatever, but to actually make them more
about that in the game,
more
though.
distinct.
Right. I wish
kind
they
of
would.
weird.
It's weird because I remember when the news cycle for KH3, that was a huge thing people would talk about is, hey, what form is this form change? You know what I mean? Like is it the green? Is it? And they have different names. I don't remember them off the top of my head.
I do.
But like, I know you do. But there's like it was such a big deal for everybody in the trailers, and then you get to the game and it's not really a thing they even talk about. It's like, oh, okay, when he's Monsters Inc., he's yellow when he uses this one, but we don't know what that like doesn't tell you what that means. You have to like dive
until you go into the menu.
Yeah, and I just thought that was interesting because that was like something people really cared about in the lead up to KH3, and then it ended up being not important at all.
Yeah, right. It's the same thing with KH2 as well, right? Like they introduce dry forms and then never talk about it again. It's because I mean they give him the clothes.
Well, because the color change of his gear matters so much in Cage 2, right? Like, oh, like red, you're instantly thinking like Valor form and like all this stuff. Whereas like, yeah, it is a different form, but it's not the same. Where it's like there's different Keyblades where their form shares the same color, right? Like it's not as unique, right? Like,
yeah,
it does denote different abilities that you get with it, right? Like you're gonna be getting like different like reprisals and stuff when you have like the shield ones or whatever, right? Like. It's not as unique, I guess, where it's like red equals specifically Valor form, blue equals specifically Wisdom. Like it touches multiple different Keyblades. So I think that's why it feels definitely different.
Yeah, I agree. I hope there's some kind of conversation about the lore. That would be nice.
As to like why the certain game mechanics work the way they do.
Yeah.
I mean, think about how long, we've had, Rage Form, and then what was it called?
God,
Engage 2,
I want that. I've had a Google Doc
Antiform. Yeah.
For so long about like a bunch of different cutscenes that show Sora's darkness growing, and I'm like, I need to make this. I think I worked on a video before KH3 came out and like briefly touched on it because I wanted to get something out before Kingdom Hearts 3 because I was positive there was going to be some kind of conversation or lore about Rage Form, but nope. So I'm like, please, Kingdom Hearts 4, please give it to us.
Well, and it's frustrating because it's something that's interesting to a lot of people, but it's the kind of thing that Nomura will do an interview and he'll go, "You guys really care about this?"
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like it's the kind of thing that he's like not thinking about, but we're sitting here as fans going, "Oh, this is cool. Why can Sora do this?" And he's like, "Yeah, this doesn't mean anything. It's just a gameplay mechanic, you nerds." You know what I mean? Like that. So it's kind of a frustrating situation. Like there was that nobody symbol thing where people were asking about that, and he goes, "This is what you care about." Meanwhile, he made a game explaining why Mickey Mouse didn't have a shirt.
Priorities, man. Priorities.
So I don't know. Nomura's a strange man. I mean, when he was on the podcast last week, I tried to get more out of him, but he didn't. He just did the interview and left like a real prima donna,
Oh, there was something that you said during your podcast that I wanted to come on and be like, well, actually, what was it?
I'm sure.
What was it? Oh, man. I think it was... Shoot. I think it was something about the world. What world did you guys talk about last week?
Oh, yeah. No, I should have said this at the top of it. I said that Olympus was in every Kingdom Hearts game, and it's not in DDD. I just forgot about DDD.
Actually, Dream Drop Distance does.
Yeah, someone commented on that immediately too, and I was like, because like I said it, and I don't know if you can hear it in my voice where I'm like, as far as I know, like I know I'm missing something, but I couldn't in my head. I couldn't think of what it was.
There's something.
Yeah, it was DDD.
That's one thing that I hate about YouTube.
Yeah,
well, you see,
the instant you say something wrong, people are on you.
Yeah, but what you guys didn't know is when you go to Flick Rush, it teleports you to Olympus.
When you what?
Okay.
When you go do Flick Rush, it teleports you to Olympus.
That makes sense.
Oh, that's the Coliseum. He's right.
Yeah.
He's right.
Yep.
Take that, YouTube commenters.
And no one was mean about it at all. We're just like,
no one was.
That.
Yeah, I'm just projecting my own frustrations because like I swear there are people that are subscribed to me just so that they can watch a video to point out like how wrong I was about something.
Wow.
I'm just like, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I know we've talked to Pat about this before too, and Pat has the same problem. There, this is wrong, and it's like, okay, like obviously, we didn't know that, otherwise we wouldn't have said that, or we forgot, or whatever it might be, like we're all just people.
Yeah.
Like,
man, I feel so bad for Pat.
Why?
I mean, I'm not gonna. Yeah,
because he has to wear that hat.
Yeah, that hat, man.
Yeah, pretty much.
There's like there was a situation that happened at some point, and we talked. He
really beat himself up about it.
He did, and I was like,
I tried to tell him, dude, it's not a big deal, man. Like,
I was in a similar situation at one point, and like the fight or flight that kind of kicks in when there's someone with such a huge following that like decides they want to try to ruin your life. It's just like not fun. But anyways,
well, I mean, I jokingly was saying to him, dude, it's not you, it's me. I hope it's me. please let it be me. I want to talk to this guy. You know what I mean? Like, because I'm trying to make light of it for him. But yeah, he was pretty upset about it. But everybody knows Pat is a good dude. He's a genuine guy.
Yeah.
He doesn't have malice for anybody. We like to beat up on him a little bit, but that's just because he is such a nice dude. You know what I mean? Like if he was a bad person, we wouldn't beat up on him because that'd be too real.
You wouldn't talk to him.
Well, that as well. Yeah. But like, we wouldn't be like, oh, regular Pat sucks, because if he actually sucks, it's not funny. It's just the truth, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is really. I feel like there's like, I don't know. His content's really interesting. Where like, he doesn't post a lot, but when he does post, and it can be like any topic, like people just come out to watch it.
Yep. Yeah, he does a really good. He has a very good because I know he writes scripts, right? But he has a very good, like, hey, this isn't a script voice when he's reading from a script. Like it sounds like he's just talking and rambling about the subject, but he has every word written down in a Google Doc, and he's and I think that's one of his like really huge talents that helps him a lot, because it doesn't sound like a welcome to my top 10 this video, right? It sounds like, hey, I'm just gonna have a conversation about the lock-on mechanic with you guys, But he because he can script it and still make it sound that way, it's still funny and engaging. And man, I'm really sucking Pat off right now.
It's just
we gotta say some. You gotta say some shit, bro.
Fuck
Pat, you suck. Actually, I felt bad
KH1
because
Gummy sucks. It's not the best in the series. You're crazy.
He thinks that? He does not think that.
Yes, unironically.
Really? Wow. Yeah, okay.
he had that thing happen that you're talking about, and then on the podcast, someone wrote in just kicking his shins like really badly, and I was like, oh no, if Pat's a nice guy, be nice to him.
Oh,
like
really?
I was the one saying that. It's like, poor Pat. But yeah, go. I mean, he doesn't need our plug, but go watch regular Pat.
Well, I think that's what's nice about the newest kind of creators that are coming up, is like there is such a right. Like I feel like a lot of times YouTubers will stick to their own numbers, if that makes sense. Like because it's all I have a lot of feelings about YouTubers, but it feels nice to have this sub community of the cage like creators where like everyone just kind of collaborates and talks and works together regardless of like numbers, right? Like because it's not like oh, what can you do for me kind of thing, or like what can I get out of you? It's like, oh, we all like talking to each other and like collaborating because it's fun.
Yeah. Well, and when Pat first came on, he was like, I know you guys aren't, you don't have the numbers that I do, but I'm going to come bless your show. And no, he didn't say that. But what he said was he just likes podcasts, and he was just so excited that there was a Kingdom Hearts podcast to be on. And I was like, well, hey, here you are, man. We're we're a Kingdom Hearts podcast. But yeah, like you and him, and there's been a lot of people that have come on the podcast that have been so cool and welcoming, and people I talk to almost weekly, you know what I mean? And just even just like, hey, do you think this thumbnail looks good? You know what I mean? Like just stupid stuff like that when I was starting YouTube, which I never really gained big success until we started doing the podcast, but like you'd want to ask, that kind of question to somebody, but there's no one, you know what I mean? It's like, you're on your own.
Yeah. I still ask people. I have some friends that like started watching me when I first started to gain traction with Kingdom Hearts, and we're still friends, and I'll send them thumbnails and be like, does this look good? Do you think this looks good? Like, what do you think would, because I think it's, I don't know. YouTube is such an isolating thing, so it's nice to have people to bounce stuff off of.
Yeah, which of these thumbnails looks better?
Yeah, like literally, my newest one, I had like 3 different versions, and I was like, can you guys tell me which one you like the most? Because I don't know which one's gonna be good. So.
Well, that's the thing, because it's like people will tell you, oh, the thumbnail's so important, but no one can tell you exactly what you're supposed to do with one, right?
Oh, yeah.
It changes.
It's got to be eye-catching, and the font has to be legible, but sometimes you don't need font. There's just so much to it. And so I'm glad that I literally just put out a podcast every week, and I can just use the same thumbnail every week.
Right, like it's branded, so like it needs to stay the same, right?
Right,
like,
exactly. If I just start throwing wild thumbnails out there, it's not going to do good.
No.
Do well for us. Oh, no, dude, I know you still want to talk about YouTube. We can if you want.
Oh no,
I know you. I know you because you the first time you were on, you were just like going hard in on YouTube, and I was like, all right, I'm here for this.
Well, it's just it's something that like you can't really talk about to a lot of people because for a lot of people, right, they're like, oh, you just record a video and then you put it up. It's easy. It's like,
yeah, they don't get it.
No.
Yeah.
So it's nice to just kind of shoot the shit about all that stuff.
It's crazy too because like people will like almost like they like your content and they watch you, but they'll be like, well, you just do this stupid thing. And it's like, wait, you love this stupid thing. Why are you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Why are you? Yeah, it's hard work, man. Like, I'm not like fucking welding or building parts in a factory, but okay, it's still hard work. It's still something that takes time and effort. It's not just even our podcast, which I'll admit is kind of free form and we don't do a ton of like prep for it. It's still like a whole process to get it edited and to, you know.
Yeah, well, and don't put yourself down like that. But it, like putting a weekly thing together, like so like right, you've done it long enough that the actual like working part of like getting the audio together, getting all the visuals and all that stuff together is not part of the easier part, but it's still like still takes time. It's just that you've built up that skill.
I wasn't putting ourselves down. I'm just saying I'm not here with a script. Like I'm not here like
it's not to the same degree. Yeah.
Right. I'm not here going, hey, Jason, I just spent 10 hours diving into why Olympus is cool. Because I didn't do that. I just said, hey, this is why I think Olympus is cool off the top of my head. By the way, it's not in every game. It's not in DDD. You know what I mean? So it's like it's just different, right?
Yeah.
And I've struggled. I've said this before, but I've struggled to like I've wanted to do more like scripted content.
It's hard.
But unless it's like something goofy like J. Jonah Jameson, I struggle to write that.
Yeah, we're definitely more funny boys than serious boys. And that's like because I mean like spoilers, but I've been working on like a scripted video, like the script for it. And yeah, it's I'm trying to find my own like because obviously it's the very first thing I ever scripted. So like obviously, you know, I got jokes, but I definitely like having conversations a lot with you know, like Pat and I've had like a ton of conversations about like lore and stuff like that, like with Damo and stuff, and I really like doing that as well. And so it's been like kind of weird trying to find my flow essentially, because I can ramble on about like stupid shit for like a long time, and so I don't know if I want to like segment, because either this video is going to be like hours long or I'm going to segment it. So I don't know if I want to like kind of full on like script it to even have like clear, because I don't want to just like, hey yo, here's a 15-minute video like or 10-minute video so I can get the maximum like that's not what it's about. It's just something I want to make, right? Like, so I don't know if just for my sanity if I want to cut it up and then kind of have like a good beginning, middle, and ending to each one. So it's like, okay, here's like 3 or 4 40-minute videos instead of like a 5-hour video.
No, dude, you can do the 5-hour video. You just have
both.
to have the clickbait thumbnail and title.
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 3 was a waste of time.
Dog shit ass waste of time. Yeah, true.
I think the nice thing about waiting, like not having expectations about content, right? Like no one's waiting for that next video, right? And so like
right.
That's one of the nice things when starting content.
I have something to keep up with.
Yeah, right. Well, like there's none of that pressure. It's like, okay, when it's done, and then I'll put it out, which is nice.
Yeah, that's well, I think it's a good thing and a bad thing, right? Where it's like there's been time where I could definitely have worked on it, but I'm like, I'm not really inspired right now. Whereas like if I did have that pressure, I think I would have in those like free times that I have. But yeah, it's definitely a blessing and a curse for sure.
Yeah, I'm working on a script for. I'm finally doing some more breakdowns. And
okay.
Yeah, I'm doing the Chain of Memories things because a year ago now, I was streaming through Chain of Memories, and there's like this one part where Vexen creates like a blade of ice, right, to attack you with one of his slates, and I was like, huh. never seen that before.
There's
And
a
so,
ton of
like,
really
I
cool
started-
moves.
Yeah, right. But the whole idea of chain of memories is that you're breaking cards and never seeing the attacks, and it's like that should have been thought of differently. But
That's true.
Right.
I didn't think of it that way, how it's like you don't get to see the coolest shit because the goal of the game is to break their slates and go, don't do that thing that's going to be really cool and hurt me. Yeah.
Doing the fight properly is them never attacking. Yeah.
Doing the fight properly is lethal framing, especially Vexen, dude. Like
lethal frames and 0 cards.
Right. That's the way to beat Vexen. But yeah, no, that's dude, I'm excited for that. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, that would be cool. And I am a Recom sympathizer, dude.
what does that
I
mean?
love Recom. A lot
means
of
he
people
loves
hate
Recom.
Recom. I swear to God, there's always. I feel like more recently too. There's been all these people coming out the woodwork, being like, "I freaking love the GBA original com. It's the best thing. Recom sucks. I spit in the face of anyone who likes Recom." And I'm like, dude, what the heck, bro? Like, I grew up playing com, but like, I really like Recom too. Like, what the heck? Why you gotta be so mean? So I don't know. I love Recom. It gets shit on too much, dude. It's a good ass game.
Agreed.
I like the aesthetics of GBA. I was watching. I don't know if you guys know KZ Excellent. He was streaming through, and he was doing a GBA playthrough. And then, like halfway through, he was like, "This sucks. Why am I playing this?" They switched over to Recom.
That's
So
funny.
it's something that happens a lot in the community where like someone will say something that'll get traction, and then it'll just be regurgitated until like people think that way, if that makes sense. So like
No, for sure.
people like there were people like, oh man, I love GBA, and then it just like kept being said, and then at some point it got picked up to like the point where it's like, oh yeah, GBA is totally better than Recom, and it's like, okay, go play it, and then come back to me.
And that was my point a couple weeks ago with the whole like Nomura said Smash is canon bullshit, because it's like one person or two people say it, and then like I had people literally arguing with me already that it's canon and posting like HMK's video saying, here you go. And I'm saying that doesn't mean anything. He literally even like, you know, and so that's why I felt the need to speak out on that, because it's like, this is what happens in this community. Someone says something and then it becomes gospel. Like the Nomura was drunk when he made Recoded thing.
Yeah.
Like by the time I discovered that info, I just thought that was real. And then you look into
same.
it and you go, oh, no, that wasn't real at all. Someone either purposely mistranslated or, you know, like, and it's like, oh, okay, cool. Now I feel stupid, you know, but, and so like, I don't want that for this community. That seems like the worst possible outcome, you know, but that's what happens.
I don't know. It is interesting how the things are just kind of said and then picked up and then told as fact.
I kind of want to start a rumor like that, though.
Just see how far it goes.
Just to see how far it goes, but that's like completely like against what I was like bitching about, so I can't do that. But like, I kind of want to just start like this crazy rumor,
Social
that,
experiment.
like, just to see, and then be like, "Ha, you idiots! See, I told you, stop doing this. I made
If
this
you
up."
dance with the men in KH3 Tangled minigame, it's faster.
We say that every time we get to that, and I just, yeah, I wanna run the rando at GDQ just so I can say that, and have someone like Spike Vegeta or someone be like, really, and be like, yeah, that's true. It saves frames to dance with the men. The women's animations are slower.
As he like walks past like 3 women to dance with, like he could have darty danced with like 2 other NPCs, but you go straight to the man. It's so funny.
We haven't really talked that much about Kingdom Hearts 4 or Missing Link Bio.
Oops.
So, I mean, do you have any? I mean, we were talking about the form change stuff with KH4. What else are you excited for, man?
Honestly, I have no idea what to expect from KH4. Like,
Yeah.
the little bit that we did get, like, the free running looks a lot more intense, but I don't know how much of that is like scripted for that fight, or if that's gonna be like what it's gonna look like when we can just run around. Because like KH3 looked incredible with the free running, and it was, but like it's very situational, right? Like only certain areas are gonna let you do those kind of things. And so I don't know if that's gonna be how KH4 is, or if it's gonna be like you can do this wherever. So
I think it'll be similar to like the Rock Titan. Like where you're running up. Part of it is you controlling, and part of it is like animation.
But the thing is with the KH4 trailer is it didn't like the Rock Titan. If you were to watch that when they showed it originally, you could tell it cut to a cutscene at one point.
Mm-hmm.
It's clearly not a cutscene to me, at least.
Well,
in KH4.
I guess I mean more that like it's like on rails, like so.
Yeah.
Part of it you're controlling it, and then part of it is on rails, right? Or like probably a reaction command because those have been confirmed to come back.
Right. I guess it just they made it clear. I feel like in the KH3 like trailer that was not that was on rails and you weren't controlling because like your menu disappears and it's a cutscene, right?
Yeah.
Where this the menu's still there.
Do you think that
He,
menu's
like,
real
pauses.
It could be a placeholder.
I think it's a placeholder because like in KH3 when you had like a reaction command or like a situational attack, your command bar would change, right? Like your attack command would change to like diving strike or whatever it is. And so like when all that was showing, it still showed the same like
It's just static.
Yeah, right. So I'm wondering if they just like slap that on.
Yeah, maybe.
But
Well, and I think that also that would be like a
sorry,
more
not to
of
be
a.
like, well, actually.
Well, I think
wow.
that.
Really, thanks.
I think
Bio.
to be fair as well, I think that would be something in game development that they would add like later, like that'd be more like polished than anything,
Right. And that might
know.
even be like
that's
the
part
KH.
of the engine.
It might be the KH3 Remind one from Shibuya, but I haven't looked at it enough to, or like compared it.
You haven't broken it down yet.
I haven't.
How often do people make stupid breakdown jokes to you like that?
Not so much anymore, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Just us.
Just us and Pat probably would be the only.
Well, because I've been out of the game for so long, it just I've lost a significant amount of like traction in most corners of the community. So
I think also part of it is that a lot of the community has left. So, you know what I mean? Like, well, for an average KH fan, what is keeping you here? There's not even a freaking mobile game to play right now, you know?
That's true. I think it's
I think it waxes and
spiked
wanes
with the
dude.
KH4 stuff, but then now it's back to being just like nothing's going on, and you know we'll see if Dark Road actually comes out. I'm so terrified of Dark Road, Bio.
why?
I think it's gonna be terrible.
Why?
Nomura didn't even mention it in his interview.
Oh,
An interview
look
where
forward to
he's like
KH4 and Missing
purposely like pushing Missing Link in KH4. Like he's purposely bringing up Missing Link multiple times. He doesn't mention Dark Road one time. A game that's supposedly releasing next month.
that. Ooh.
Yeah,
I didn't even think about
it's
that.
just gonna be a
Ooh.
It's not
nightmare.
even in the media cycle at all.
Kingdom Hearts Dark Road official site. When is the last time they've even like updated this?
I don't know. Deimos probably got a tracker that's up to like
Yeah,
hundreds
he
and
does.
hundreds of days.
When it releases, Damo's gonna go into DEF CON 5.
Man, yeah, right. I'm so excited for that. I can't wait to see him come back and make some more content.
Dude, I hope so. He's
this
been
system
free
looks
for so long. He
cool.
might be used to the taste of freedom.
Yeah.
True. Man, yeah, I was so excited when Dark Road first came out.
Well, yeah, it came out of nowhere, and we were like, "Holy shit, they're gonna have another game! This is cool!" Da da da. And then it was okay, and then it was like
And it
clear
just
they
died.
didn't want to do it anymore, but they had to, and now they're now I don't know what they're doing because he didn't even. And like in the context
not
of the
even a
interview, he
game.
was talking about learning more about Kingdom Hearts 4, and Dark Road probably has nothing to do with Kingdom Hearts 4. So I might
yeah,
just
it was
be
most right. Like it started as like I want to tell young Xehanort story, which I was never planning to do.
right. So it could just
I think
be
either
me
way,
being
what
stupid about it.
what like producer is not going to talk about their game that's coming out in even like in a month and a half or whatever, like from when the interview was. Like that's still crazy to me. Like think about like all of the like red flags that sends up for like some other like AAA game or something, right? Like
He's like,
if
yo,
you're
don't
not
pay
hearing
attention
about
to this.
Yeah, if you're not hearing about the new Starfield or the new Call of Duty or something like a month and a half before it comes out, bro, there is something wrong. Like, not
wait,
that
was
Dark
there-
Road is some AAA game, but still, it's just weird.
Wait, did you guys see this? There was an update to the Japanese website like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, what did it say?
It shows all of like the new home screen and everything. Have you guys seen this?
No. Link me.
Yeah, I'm linking you. It's like it shows like theater mode. Oh wait, this is for. Oh wait, this. Never mind. This is from June 18th, 2021.
Oh, I was gonna say, dude. I feel like we've
I
seen
was like,
this.
bro, this is literally old. What are you talking?
Oh man.
Bio hitting us with the fake news, dude.
Hey.
Hate to see it.
See it.
Hate to see it. It's the kind of journalism you get on Noisy Pickle. You know what I mean?
Shut up. Oh man. I felt so bad when I did that video too, because I literally just like I meme on that so much of like, man, people just like play a game and then talk about a story, and I was like, I see why they do it. It's really easy.
What's funny is we were talking to OJ the other day, and he said that his boss they brought Noisy Pixel to like an anime expo, and people were calling it Noisy Pickle
On purpose?
Yeah,
As like a joke?
I don't know if it's because we call it that or like I was
we
like
put it
what?
into the ether, dude.
I guess I don't think we have that big of a
Hey,
reach.
there's the rumor that you did something. You started it.
Yeah, Noisy Pickle. Woo, we did it.
That's your
We did
legacy.
it. All right, Bio. I know you got a hard out soon, so I want to ask you before you go.
Mhm.
What do you think about Missing Link, dude?
I don't love it. Don't love it at all. That's
Well,
why.
why not?
I'm worried about the
It just-
monetization.
It looks bad.
Ooh.
It just looks bad, in my opinion. Like,
Okay.
like just the trophy system. Just it just looks like Unity
Yeah.
assets.
Indie
Thrown
developer
together,
makes
right?
Unity game, yeah.
Yeah.
Or like
it
those
looks
so-
like
shitty ass commercials for like games that don't actually exist, where you like gotta pull the levers in
Yeah.
the right order.
Yeah. I'm like, and maybe it's because I was like, oh, like when I first saw it, I was like, oh, is this an MMO? Like that's gonna be awesome. And then it wasn't, and so maybe that's why I'm like, eh.
Right. Jason and I often have this thing we call, when things look like that, we call them Gmod rooms, right?
Yeah.
Like they're just empty rooms with like a table in it or whatever, you know, nothing on the walls. The Scala Ad Kaim in Missing Link looks like a Gmod city.
Yeah.
Like everything's just square and weird, and it does. Yeah, I agree. It doesn't look good. I'm hoping it looks better the next time they show it to us, but I don't have a lot of faith in that. We're still gonna play it because, you know, content, but like,
Yeah, probably me too.
but like, I agree with Jason that I'm worried about the monetization, because Square Enix does have good examples of like mobile game monetization where it's fair, stuff like the City Opera.
It's not
Omnia,
predatory, yeah.
not predatory. But then they have like Union Cross where they're making people pay $15 a week for bullshit. You know
for
what I mean?
VIP,
So,
dude.
right. So it's I'm
very
interested to see
important.
what happens with it. But yeah, I'm not terribly excited either.
Yeah. It just looks weird. And maybe it's just like a really early build.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, apparently we're supposed to beta test later this year, so
Oh, you are? Did you guys get
What?
accepted?
no, not us, but just in general.
Like in the community, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, not us. No, yeah, we got invited to the event where they reveal it.
Congrats.
Yeah, we're gonna be
Definitely
there
real.
with Sarah Key and who's another.
We'll shoot a new,
DB Geek is gonna be there, and us.
DB Geek, who was that? DB.
He's
like been a pretty popular variety streamer recently.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. He played KH recently, and
Why is that a
everybody's like,
thing?
You
Where people
should have
like
DB Geek on the podcast. I'm like, what?
who? It's so odd to me that like Kingdom Hearts is like part of like the streamer package, like the starting streamer.
It is.
Where you
It
play that, you play 7 Remake, you play Final Fantasy 15 and Final Fantasy 13, and I feel like by the end of those 4 games. 7 Remake, not so much. I feel like it's like Kingdom Hearts 15, 13. And like by the end of that, like you're a partnered streamer with like an established
Shit, dude. So you're telling me all I gotta do is play Final Fantasy 13 and we're gonna be partnered, dude?
Well,
Probably.
I would say like that's definitely a thing for sure. But to be fair to DB Geek, like he actually has been streaming for a long
that's
time.
not
And
who
shit. Like
DB Geek is not who we're talking
yeah,
about.
Oh, yeah.
Well, but there's also the like. Pat and I have talked about this, but there's like the crying in the thumbnail while playing Kingdom Hearts.
Right? I think about that sometimes too, because I'm like, I mean, granted, like I have definitely like bawled my eyes out for games on stream. Final Fantasy 14. But it seems weird to me that every single game you play is gonna make you cry that much.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, I think
that
that's
not weird?
I think you probably have some trauma that you need to deal with outside of video games. You know?
Well,
I'm
yeah,
not
because
trying
it's
to...
like it's not even evoking that. Like, yeah, there's sad moments in Kingdom Hearts or whatever, but nothing where it's like they're trying to make you cry or something. You
But
know,
I've
like
seen I've seen
Kingdom Hearts
streamers
3. I definitely
I'd say that's like
bawled
the
at
exception.
The sea salt
That's the
trio.
exception, not the rule.
Okay.
Well,
You
I'm
crying
just
about
saying,
something in
like-
Cage 2, bro? Really, bro?
What? Goofy dies? What are you talking about?
Oh, spoilers. First off,
Oops.
No, like, but I'm just saying, like, okay, it'll be a streamer. I'm not gonna name names, but I've seen it from a couple different ones. I'm not particularly talking about one streamer, but they will post, they'll stream it and then they'll post a My Kingdom Hearts 1 experience, My Kingdom Hearts 2 experience, My Kingdom Hearts 3 experience,
Wow,
My
thanks for
Kingdom
calling me
Hearts
out.
3 Remind Journey, and they'll be crying in every goddamn thumbnail. And if you're crying at the end of every Kingdom Hearts game, I'm not trying to like gatekeep anybody or anything, but that I feel like you should probably go talk to somebody. You know what I mean? Like you should probably like, and I don't mean that in a mean way. I mean
no,
like you,
actually, yeah,
you
yeah,
actually should probably go have a conversation with somebody where you talk about your trauma, because there are moments in Kingdom Hearts where people have cried, and I think that's acceptable. But if every thumbnail you post is a picture of you crying for every Kingdom Hearts game, I don't buy it. Like, that's just not.
It feels disingenuous.
It does.
Yeah.
Either it's disingenuous or you really got to deal with something, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, you being Bio someone who deals in cognitive
Okay, let's not pull
behavioral
my.
therapy.
I don't want to. No.
No, I want you to analyze. I want you to
Professional
That's okay.
analyze this person right now.
Analyze me, Bio.
Yeah.
Why am I crying in
Actually,
every thumbnail? And
Bio,
why do I
I-
hate Stormblood post-patch?
I actually had one last thing. I know you got to run soon, but I just had one last thing. You've broken down pretty much almost every aspect of Kingdom Hearts someone could break down, right?
Yeah.
You drive forms, summons, anything, clothing changes. But one thing you have not broken down, Bio, is the Ansem Report podcast.
Okay.
Break us down right now. 1 minute.
Oh god.
Live.
There's a lot of pressure. Okay, so I sense a lot of fuck, I don't know, dude.
I knew I was putting you on the spot, man. I'm just messing with you.
Oh man.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Bio-Roxas. Why don't you, if people aren't familiar with you for some reason, I don't know why they wouldn't be, but if they're not, why don't you drop like where they can follow you, where they can check out your stuff, what you're working on?
Yeah. So my name's Bio-Roxas. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Twitch, and I'm on YouTube. Definitely coming back and making some Kingdom Hearts breakdowns. Also branching out into 14 with some like deep dives into that. So if you enjoyed my content for Kingdom Hearts and showing off those animations, you'll probably like that too. It's the same developer and all that stuff. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Bio, for being on the show again, dude. We love you. We appreciate you. Everybody go
Thanks for
follow
having me
Bio on all this stuff, please. He's a great content creator, but more importantly, a great guy. And
Aw.
someone that you don't have to feel bad about watching
He's
his
always been
videos 'cause
very
he's
nice
not a
to
weirdo.
us.
Yes.
You don't deserve it.
Yes,
We're despicable.
definitely. And, Kingdom Hearts or FF14, he's your guy. He's your guy you need to go to, okay?
Yeah, I'm actually gonna not meme, but like bait my Kingdom Hearts viewers by calling them deep dungeon dives, because and I'm gonna like even open up with like some kind of Kingdom Hearts, one of those like diving underwater things to like open it up, because I'm like,
okay,
gotta play that system.
Baited. Also, something we didn't talk about, but memes. Bio's got memes on memes on memes on his YouTube channel.
Meme
dude,
videos.
memes.
Choice memes.
Choice memes. So if you like memes, you like FF14, you like Kingdom Hearts, you like breaking stuff down, every detail about what the Scaled Kayum letters say on things and all that, Bio's got you, okay? Go check him out.
Oh,
Bio,
thanks, guys.
thank you again for being on, my friend.
Yeah,
Love you.
Anytime.
Jason, we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to do the question of the week, which is a bad one. So we'll see you in a minute. Hey guys, just Mike here. I wanted to take a quick moment to show you something, because last week there was a weird audio glitch on the YouTube version, and I have no way of explaining it. So if you're watching the video version, you can see I have my timeline of last week's podcast here in Adobe Premiere Pro. And during the segments where we have listener emails, I like to play It Began With a Letter, because it's funny, because it's like, haha, it's the song that plays when you read Mickey's letter at the beginning of the game, and so on and so forth. And so if you play Began With a Letter while we're reading emails, it's like has some kind of weird connection to Kingdom Hearts, right? Ha ha ha. So the problem is something happened in between the... So, okay, let me just say, the way I normally do the podcast is I do the audio version first, because that version goes out on Patreon early for our patrons, patreon.com/SuperSpikeGhetti. Go check it out. And I do that first, and then later I add like these elements, the sparklies and the moons and the things like that, right? Basically, that's the idea, is I make that first, and then I come back and add the stuff, and it's whatever, right? On the regular podcast version of episode 10 last week, It Began With a Letter plays. It's beautiful. It's perfect. It's how it's supposed to be. But for some reason, when on the YouTube version, this is what happens. They'd be like, yo, my dad likes this shit. That is cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're like, wait. My dad actually likes stuff that's cool. What?
My dad likes cool stuff? Okay, so I'm going to isolate just the audio that's supposed to be It Began With a Letter for you guys, so you can... This in Chain of Memories, whatiness 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 in Chain of Memories. What is that? I have no idea what that is. So you're like, okay, Mike, yeah, you did something stupid, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go back in and fix this for the YouTube version. And then I ultimately decided not to fix it on the YouTube version because it's very low in the mix. It's not really super disruptive. It's like having a very quiet song play, like a Band of a Letter, but it is a little annoying, but it's not worth to me re-uploading on YouTube. But I came back anyway just to look at it, and I was like, okay, here's It Began With a Letter. You guys can't see the pop-up that says it's Began With a Letter, but you'll have to trust me. This is Kingdom Hearts music. It Began With a Letter MP3. That's what this is, okay? So I'm going to drag that onto the timeline where I just deleted that, right? And you can see the waveform. This in Chain of Memories. What it is in Chain of Memories. What? So I was like, what the hell? So I made a new timeline at one point and put that in there. And it was still the what it is in Chain of Memories. However, if I go to open that file, which let me get that set up real quick. Began With a Letter. I just played the audio file, and this same file it began with a letter. You guys can hear it. What the hell? So I'm not really sure what's going on there, but I wanted to explain it for everybody because I literally showed Sean AFK this in the Discord with like a couple other people, and then him and I went to go record something for a secret project we're working on, and he goes, "Hey, I gotta ask you, now that it's just me and you, was that a bit?" And And I said, no, that wasn't a bit. Like, this isn't a bit. And he goes, I thought it was a bit because it's so weird and doesn't make any sense. So anyway, that's what happened. And back to the podcast.
This is Richard Epcar. Welcome to the Ansem Report podcast. Come to the darkness.
Welcome back, everyone. Now it's time for the
Question of the Week.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. Wow, Jason just like stole my job. Welcome back, everybody. Yeah, that
Mike
was the
wasn't
question
ready,
of the week.
but I'm ready.
This week's question of the week, Jason, is from...
No, Mike. This week's question of the week was actually a bit of a trash one. Hashtag desperation. What is next week's question of the week? But that's what this week's question of the week is.
Yep. And that we're gonna read them all, and then at the end, Jason and I will pick one.
Yeah, we'll have to decide.
Of you
deliberate.
Will die.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, Tyler
Rims. It's from Tyler Rims. New question of the week. Kingdom Hearts, yes or no, and why? And then he added, my dumbass going, Mike didn't get Desperation's right. I wonder if he knows. No, it's me who doesn't know. There's no one named Desperation in the Discord, Tyler. Okay, that's definitely not going to be the winner. Moving on. I'm just going to, like, berate everybody's.
Oh, my God, Tyler. Dude, like, you're a mod, dude. You're making us look bad. What the fuck is this, dude?
Pokemon Trainer J says, next week's question of the week is merely hypothetical, one to be discussed among the scholars and intellectuals for eons to come. What indeed is the next question of the week? To what end are these questions answered? Is there ever an end to the questions? Yes. Yes. Very philosophical.
For every question answered, there are more questions brought up.
Yes.
True.
Real eyes, you know?
Yes.
Yansong says, what is this week's question of the week? Okay, Yansong didn't understand the assignment. Eka Dog says, what is the worst line in a Kingdom Hearts game? No repeats. Okay. That's not bad. That's in contention.
What is the worst line where you just roll your eyes?
I can think of a couple. Billy the Kid Lawrence says, to answer this question of the week about the next question of the week, one must first ask, what is a question? A question is a sentence worded or expressed so to elicit information. Therefore, a question of the week is implied to be a particular time frame for a specific inquiry and then be answered by one or more individuals, particularly in this case, with the intent of manipulating the audience of the Ansem Report podcast into thinking that they matter, when in reality, they're just a number. Henceforth, the most ideal question of the week to be asked for the following week in question, in order to keep the players of this sick and twisted mind game fooled, should be multifaceted and directly tied to the viewer's life and feelings, exactly like this. Seductive and sultry mic voice. Hey, you. Warm smile. You doing okay? Comforting wink. Just checking in on you because we love you, heart hands, and we're always gonna be there for you, snuggle. Just like you're here for us, ooh woo. What's been your favorite thing that's happened so far in 2022 for you? Meow. Truly hope you're feeling fantastic, fam. Fuzzy feelings, Gucci goo, sunshine, rainbows, mommies, hugs and kisses. Love you all. Mwah. Like and subscribe. And then, Jason, the next part's for you.
Nah, fuck off.
That's definitely not the question.
What the fuck was that?
I don't know. Billy went off the rails there. Kyrie's bro says, question of the week. What even is the question of the week? If I ask a question, is it the week of questions? Question of the week. Okay.
I've gone cross-eyed.
We've really done something to people's brains with this question of the week, dude.
Yeah, everybody is just like... It's like when the fucking in Detroit Become Human, where some of the androids just start going crazy and like banging their fucking head on the wall, dude. Like, what the fuck is happening? This is twisted, bro.
Yeah, I don't know what to do about this.
What have we done? Has this experiment gone too far?
I think it has. Zombie says, who is the worst Kingdom Hearts content creator? Smilers.
Oh, Jesus.
Zombie going for the throat. Bamboo says, wake up. So ominous. Uh-oh. It's coming after you. Better wake up before it's too late. Sorry, you lazy bum. I actually didn't know she smacked him on the head. I just assumed he flinched because he had a wicked trip. That's not a there was no question there. Then Alex adds, I am inside your home. Again, not a question.
What is wrong with everybody?
Not a question, you guys. These aren't questions. KH Waterblock says, what's your favorite video game soundtrack of all time? Okay.
Okay, an actual good question.
Thank you, Waterblock,
Jesus.
for having the mental fortitude to survive this question of the week. Jesus Christ.
Oh my gosh.
Holy cow. SB Cat says, next week's question of the week should be, which KH character would fit well / be cool as a classic Final Fantasy class? Would Sora be a cool Dragoon? Could Aqua be the best red mage around? We've probably had something very similar to this, but I don't know. You're right, SB Cat. We've done this.
Yeah, well, we had it where it was like Sora, Donald, Goofy, I think.
Yeah, come on, SB.
Like, what class would they be if they were something else?
Come on, SB. You should have just said something weird like everybody else did.
I don't know who I was talking with about this. I think maybe it was Sean or somebody, but I was like, dude, like when they saw like what the question of the week was, because like obviously the question of the week is like out before the episode is or whatever, like the new one.
Right.
And I was like, dude, at this point, it's like there's been like so many people have like cycled in and out and stuff. It's like that's just what happens. At this point, it's like we might as well do like question of the week, like a segment where it's like a question we've already asked. Or like similar to, so then it's like, you know, the new people could put their answers out. And we've had a lot of people who have been, you know, going through the old episodes on some crazy, like just absolutely supporting the hell out of us, like going through listening to everything and wanting to answer some of the old questions. So I was thinking maybe sometimes we have question of the week and it's an older one. So then people can either maybe their answer changed, or if they're new, they can actually answer it for the first time.
Or they can just copy-paste their answer.
I'll know.
Previously. StuCat says, if you were a hitman, how long would it take for you to murder Sora, Kairi, and Riku?
Oh my
For
god.
how much money, and who would give you the job? Would it be Jiminy Cricket wanting revenge for Sora never looking at anything in the journal except the Ansem reports? Is it Mickey who found better Keyblade wielders? Or Sora's mom, who has her last dying wish wanted to have Sora and his friends back in the only place they'll stay, hell? Or maybe it was just the Masters or something. Yeah, not that one.
Dude, I'd say like a week maximum, dude. These guys suck, dude. Like they be like trusting the first person they see. Like I just gotta act like a good Disney person for a minute, and then I can poison all of them. That's
true. Panda says, the next question of the week should be, if a KH character lost their heart, what would their heartless and nobody be? I think we've done something similar to that before.
I don't know. I don't think so, but you could be right.
Maybe we just talked about what heartless we thought belonged to the different organization members. It was something like that. Panda Boy says, what is a desperate moment in Kingdom Hearts? Jerry Theoden says, I think it's time to bring back an old favorite of mine from when I first joined the Discord, the classic, who? That's the question of the week.
Who?
DP Grant says, what is your favorite voice acting performance in KH and why? For international listeners of the ARP who have played in multiple language, do you have a preference and why?
Ooh, I like that
DP
one.
Grant not going on the week where everybody goes deranged. DP Grant, straight and narrow.
Yeah.
When normally DP Grant is
not me.
taking the first left. Broondock says, who is the lingering will and why can he wield a Keyblade? It's a great question.
Okay, classic.
Pure Strength Stan says, if you could have a Keyblade based on you, what would it look like and what would your form change be?
Okay.
Mailman CEB says, FMK2? 2? That's right, the sequel to the hilarious question of the week, FMK.
Oh, no. I don't know if I'll survive.
Diana,
I don't know if I'll survive.
I think, that hasn't aged well. I think somehow, even though we've only been doing this podcast,
it might be helicopters over my house.
It was a different time then, It was a different time. Wildcat Diana says, did we do a career week question already? Since I can't remember, here we go. What profession would each of the Guardians of Light choose?
I don't think we did that one.
I don't think so either. Zethus says, kind of a technical one. How do you think they should implement reaction commands into KH4 so they aren't press triangle to win? Okay. And then Dangus Khan says, I'm going to recommend this question a third time because, as you all now know, I can never stop at one, LMAO. A cage character of your choice has just been arrested in Tampa, Florida. What were they charged with? And bonus points, what real or fake quote would they say while they're getting their mugshot? All jokes aside, so many good ones in this thread. All right, and that was everybody's question. Instead of you and I coming up with an answer, we are going to pick the next question of the week.
There was actually some good ones in here, dude.
Yeah.
Besides the people who are having like a mental breakdown.
I'm partial to Egg's question. What's the worst line in a Kingdom Hearts game? Because I think that's pretty original. I don't think we've done that.
Yeah.
What's your favorite video game soundtrack of all time is another good one that I liked. Even though it's not necessarily Kingdom Hearts related.
I think everyone can relate to it.
But everyone can relate to it. And that was by Waterblock. Panda has, if a KH character lost their heart, what would their heartless nobody be? Kind of like that. And then I also like the DP Grant famous voice acting performance.
Yeah.
Those are my top 4.
I would agree with that too, yeah.
Okay, well, what one do we want to do? Also, honorable mention to Who's the Worst Kingdom Hearts content creator by Zombie. I'm leaning towards not doing Eggs because then he'll go, I'm a trendsetter when we pick his.
Yeah, fuck you,
so
dude.
Fuck you, Egg. you probably have the one I wanted to pick the most, but because it's you, I'm not picking it.
I'm torn between either DP Grant's answer or Kate Waterblock's answer.
Here's the good news, Jason. We still need more than one question of the week. So I guess the answer is, what one are we doing this week and what one are we doing next week?
Ooh, okay. Let's just do the soundtrack one first, I guess.
Okay, all right. Congratulations, Waterblock. You did it, dude. What is your favorite video game soundtrack of all time? You did it. So proud. And Jason, that's going to do it for this week's Ansem Report podcast.
Dude,
I'd like
a
to
banger.
thank Bio-Roxas for being on the show again. Just a juiced individual and one of the nicest people we've met, and always been so kind and caring and helpful.
Yeah.
Go check
absolutely.
out his content. He makes great content.
Like, even I think one thing that if for the people who have like listened to like previous episodes, you'll know he likes to make content that is not just flavor of the week type of shit.
Right.
It's like something that actually is.
Except maybe his memes.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's like the meme ones.
Because, I mean,
but like,
if I'm being real, Jason, there's a meme video on here.
It's pretty disgusting. I know which one you're talking about.
You know what I'm going to say, right?
Yeah, dude.
Riku Morbin time.
It's Morbin time, boys.
So, to be fair,
that is flavor, but I'm talking about his actual
memes.
KH content where it's like it's not a meme. Like, it is like will stand the test of time. So like even like there's gonna be shit on there where it's like, wow, you would not know that about X thing. It's like no matter how much you think you know about KH, you will find something new. So go check it out.
Yes. And if you're into FF14 at all, his FF14 content is really good as well.
Yes.
So, go check that out. Okay,
True.
guys. Next week we'll be back with episode 12. Thank you everybody for hanging out and listening. We will see you next week. Jason, hit him with it.
May your heart be your guiding key.
Thank you.
Now fuck off.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was episode 11 of the Ansem Report podcast. Once again, thank you to Bio-Roxas for coming on the show. We love him. Go follow him at all his stuff listed in the description. The theme of the Ansem Report podcast, Radiant Garden, is by Shane Plunkett and Jesse Wright of Meadow Vista Media. Go check those guys out. They make dope stuff, and we really appreciate them giving us our theme song. Jason, we also have a Patreon at patreon.com/SuperSpikeGhetti Bros, where you guys can support us. The newest episode of Fine, I Do It Myself is out now, Thor: The Dark World, and you'll be surprised at someone's reaction to it for sure. So go check that out if you haven't yet, if you're a Patreon member. Otherwise, you can go there and support us, and we are going to list off our patrons that we appreciate very much. Jason, go ahead and give it a whirl.
Nesquik.
Billy the Kid Lawrence.
Corinne Verg.
Dr. Lambic.
DP Grant.
Elbow Juice.
Energy Scott.
SP Cat.
Famous for Nothing.
Gav Dodd.
Iron Aggro.
Iron Daddy Sean.
It's your boy, Woody.
Pokemon Trainer J.
Lisa S.
Mr. Trumpeter 711.
Orpheus Joshua.
Panda Love.
Preferred Whale 6.
Swarls Barkley.
Vigilus Gaming.
Water Cage. I don't know why we're doing that.
Yawn Song.
Zach B.
Chillery.
Lands of Masters.
Frank Verg.
Get Roxel.
Regular Pat.
Fabio the Iguana.
Unholy Dolphin.
Vetus.
What's up, Carl?
Chenny.
Kyrie's Bro.
Librarian Gamer.
Travis Town.
Junior.
Phil Games.
And Afro-Roxas.
Thank you guys so much for supporting us on patreon.com/SuperSpikeGhetti We appreciate it, and you help the podcast do what it does and all our other stuff we do. We will see you guys next week for episode 12. Send me everybody day like else that. Send me a fear if you don't be no fear, send me may I send me a fob. Snick us net, illness me out net, you'll send me if this who's there with we got send me a fear if z. Send me a fear if Zeus or be like up to me, so the game was not a shot.